living like a gangster. Hey, hey, 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 love yourself first, explicitly. You overtook yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream. Living like a gangster. Hey, hey, living like a gangster. Hey, hey, living like a gangster. Hey, hey, living like a gangster. Hey, hey.
Hey y'all, happy Monday. Oh my gosh, I went to go live and my computer had absolutely no volume. So I am sorry. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Deborah. Yeah, there was, no picture, no nothing because my computer had no volume. So I had to go out and come back in. But can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I hope so, because I usually check the mic before I come on, but whenever I realized that issue, I did not check the mic. Let me see, I have you on another mode. Okay, so I have volume over here on this monitor. So hey y'all, hey. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's you just got to keep on pushing because this technology, and this is the part that really kind of got me today, is I knew earlier that my computer volume was messing up my sound, but it was way earlier today. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Hey, Deborah. Hey, Kenneth. Okay. So y'all can hear me. Okay, good. So I knew earlier that there was an issue with the volume, but it was early in the day. And then I got super productive in my day, because I don't like to use the word busy, because busy can mean a lot of things. I want to be productive. I don't want to be busy, but I got super productive today. And you know how it is when something happens early. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going live until 7:00. So I got plenty of time, right? Yeah. And then next thing you know, it's 7:00 and you're live and you never fixed the volume issue or the sound issue. So yeah, I apologize that y'all were just looking at a black screen for a minute, but we're here, right? We're here, and things happen. So I hope everyone has had an awesome and productive Monday so far. I hope that, hey, Trish, how are you? I hope that everything has gone seamlessly and that y'all have not been running into the same kind of issues that I ran into. But again, self-inflicted, right? And so I don't know which of you all have seen this, but I did release a vlog today. And in my vlog, and again, my vlog was supposed to go up yesterday, but I had quite a few events. Good. I'm glad, Nikki. Yeah, nothing like a productive Monday. I love Mondays, right? It's a new beginnings. A lot of people dread Monday, but I love Monday because that lets me know what a new week has for me. And I had a really good Monday, some good news. But it's just funny when like you have a lot of things going on and you're trying to do all the things. That's when inevitably something's going to get missed because you put it off. And it's like, really what we need to do is just take a beat, take a pause, and do what we need to do and quit rushing. So I need to take my own advice. But today I wanted to talk about, I think it definitely was another one of the poll questions. And so I'm going to touch on all of those. The second runner-up, well, it ended up being, I think people kept voting because when I looked at it this morning, it was actually 33%, 33%. So everything was kind of even. But this was another one of those topics that I had. And it is how to maintain a youthful spirit over the age of 50, especially as a content creator. And so several weeks back, I had Tamara Batsell on with me. She is a content creator. She is 60 years old. You would never know it by looking at her, speaking to her, seeing her content, any of that. And we talked about just navigating content creation as a more seasoned person. But there's also that extra added of having just that youthful spirit overall and combining the two. And so I know when I first entered into content creation as far as YouTube, and I first got introduced to vlogs, because that was something that I never watched. Like, I just started watching vlogs a couple of years ago. And I was mainly just watching to get travel advice for places that I was going to be traveling to. And then I got into this whole thing of, oh, people do this just as a way to share their life in general. It's not only something big going on like vacation or holidays. But what I noticed is all of the bloggers were way younger than me. They were like my kids' age. And I'm like, okay, there was a lot of stuff that they do that I still do. There's a lot of stuff that they do that I don't do anymore, or I never did. And I'm like, but I'm enjoying consuming this type of content. But how do I do it at my age and still be able to, make it fun and not look like I'm trying to be young? And so that's something else I like to talk about all the time. There is no such thing as trying to be young. Your age is your age. Hey, J3, your age is your age. There's nothing you can do about it, but there's a difference in trying to be young and just staying youthful and engaging. And so there's just certain things that sometimes I know people of a certain age shy away from, because they're like, oh, that's for the young folks. That's what the young folks do. But if you enjoy it, what difference does it make? And so that is kind of what I wanted to bring to content creation, because I first started off with just doing regular informative content. I was training for a marathon. I was writing my book. And so I was talking about things like that. But then I started doing the vlogging too. But it did take me a while to get into it, because I was thinking, okay, are people going to try to say, oh, she thinks she's young, or she's trying to be young? But then y'all know me, it didn't take long before I was like, I don't care what people say. I'm going to do it, because I like to go to brunch. I get my hair done. I like to get my nails done, different stuff. And I would have loved to have seen more women who look like me doing those things. So I'm like, why don't I just do it? And if you've seen the trailer to my YouTube channel, that's exactly what I talk about. And one of the things that I think sometimes can get us stuck in like an older mindset and kind of wear us down and make us not feel quite as energetic is because we try too hard not to look like we're trying to be young. I told y'all, I used to have an issue before of feeling that all of my friends needed to be my age or older. And I would prefer my friends being older, because I thought, of course, I was so mature and whatever. But I've realized now, and that may have been the best for me back then. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say that that was the best for me back then, because I did get to be around more mature women. It helped me to mature. I was able to glean from their wisdom and their knowledge. And I just learned a lot. A lot of them had children, and their children were older than my children. So they were able to kind of give me some parenting advice along the way. But now I'm that woman, right? I'm that seasoned woman. And nothing against our women who are 70, 80, 90 years old. Y'all know I just went to a 92-year-old kickback on Saturday, birthday party for Aunt Dean. And I still feel like I can get a lot of knowledge and wisdom from them. But it's the younger people who I get the information on about what's trending, because I still am interested in what's trending. I love clothes. I love fashion. There's a lot of things that my older friends now, may not really be into. And so I had to learn that it was okay to hang around younger people, and it didn't make me look like I was trying to be young, and I didn't care what anybody else thought. And so that's the thing too, with a lot of stuff that we do, don't do, whatever. We try to act like, yeah, I just don't want it to be like this, or I don't want to feel like this. But really, the only thing we're concerned about is what other people think. And so as soon as we get that out of our mind, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to miss out on the good time. I'm not going to miss out on the new trends. I'm not going to miss out on the hottest brunch spots, because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to be young. And I can also be that person that other women were to me when I was that younger friend. Let me see what Nikki said. Stae, we are twinning. When I was younger, I had older friends, and now I'm the older friends. Yes, yes. And I have, in this time of my life, just started to like build this new tribe and expand my tribe and not be so closed-minded. And I have learned a lot from my younger friends, and I'd like to think that they've learned a lot from me, and I have fun with them. We do things and they appreciate, my insight. I don't act old. So it's not, and that's the thing too. How often is our age even really coming up? Like, none of these young women who I'm friends with now, who have become a very important part of my circle, were like, well, before, we go to brunch or before we go for coffee, how old are you, Stae? And none of that. So it was all in my head. And so one of the main ways I think that we can maintain that youthful spirit is being open to hanging out with younger people and doing the things that younger people do and finding that certain group of younger people. Like, I'm not saying that you got to be going clubbing and all that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about the younger people who like to do some of the things that we're interested in doing. Exactly. Yeah, nobody's discussing age. And it took me a minute. Like, the first time I was invited, because, there's a difference in the one-on-one too. And so for me, Nikki, it was like, I have had my friend Monique, and Monique is about 7 or 8 years younger than me. I don't really remember. And that's the thing. It's not as important to me anymore. But she invited me to her birthday brunch. And when she first invited me, I immediately was like, in my mind, like, it's cool when it's just me and you, and we're going to happy hour and we're doing things. But now you're inviting me to your birthday brunch of all things, when age is going to be a thing. And I'm assuming that most of your friends are your age. Am I going to feel weird? And this is all the chatter that I'm having in my head. Girl, I went, had the best time, went to one of my favorite spots, one of Wallace and I's favorite spots, had a great time, and left with a couple of more friends. You know what I mean? Because I was open to it. J3, we know you young. You getting younger every day. You just got younger yesterday. You got a whole year younger yesterday. Yeah, it is. It's about the connection and the things that you have in common. And so, I'm meeting these people for a reason, right? So we're serving on boards together. We're at a lot of the same events. They're doing a lot of the same things that I do. And so why would I miss out on the opportunity to have that connection with somebody just based on their age? I'm not doing that. We're twinning on that too, Nikki. I have never been a club person, never. And the rare times that a friend would drag me to the club, I would always be the girl standing somewhere holding everybody's coat while they dancing, because I am a big like stranger danger person, which is why I was never good at dating. Like, I always had to know somebody for some other reason. Either you were a friend of the family and I knew you and we dated, or, I knew you at work or something and we kind of built another relationship. I'm bad with that. So I've never been. I rather just go to the corner little pub hole in the wall for a happy hour or hang out and go to a club. I've never, hey, Bougie, thank you for being here. But yeah, I've never been into clubbing. I'm an old guy. I'm 61. That ain't old. You only as old as you feel. Only old as you feel. Yeah, I had a ball. I had such a good time. Learned so many different things. They helped me to a couple of different ways. I consider myself a mixologist of sorts when it comes to the cocktails. I also like to cook. So there was a couple of different things. I'm a fan of old fashions. That's kind of like my little cocktail of choice when I'm going to indulge. And one of the young ladies there helped me to making an old fashioned with the mezcal tequila. Had never had that before. No, not even the old fashioned. I'm sorry. It was the espresso martini, because I had done old fashions with tequila, but then she helped me to doing the espresso martinis that way. Like, just fun. I mean, a lot of good conversation. What I find out with a lot of the younger people too, Some people my age and older are still of a certain mindset where they're not as open to be vulnerable and transparent and have certain conversations. A lot of them still want to be very surface. And what I found when I've been with some of the younger ladies and hanging out, you know, the millennials, they are open to talk about anything. So I just learned a lot. And it's so important for what I do as well professionally, because as a life coach, I don't really have an age range for who I'll coach. Now, I never have had anybody under the age of 18 come to me for coaching. And that's probably for a multitude of reasons, right? That makes sense. But as far as anyone from 18 to 80, I need to be ready to coach them. And how am I really going to know exactly where they're coming from and the things that plague their generation and the things that are triggering for them and the things that they've been through if I don't immerse myself somewhat in their generation and get to know people and be able to relate to them? Because my experiences as a 52-year-old woman are not going to be the same experiences of someone who's maybe 28 and coming to me for coaching. But it is my job to make sure that I'm as relatable as possible. And so in a way, making these connections, building these relationships and these friendships with these younger women is a part of my job. I need to do that. Let's see. Oh, okay. Just saying hi to everybody. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Me too. I love to have fun, Nikki. I do. I love to have fun. I don't want to sit around and just complain all the time because there's enough stuff, right? I've been doing my TikToks and my shorts. This change of life is kicking your girl's butt. And even with that, I just try to have fun with it. Y'all, I got completely worn out the other day just getting dressed. I was all flustered. I had to break out my church fan. And I don't want to just talk about that all the time. And if I am talking about that, I want to have fun with it. I don't want to, talk about getting old. I don't want to, and so it helps to keep you youthful when you allow yourself to keep company of the younger generation. Right? Exactly. Right. The new 35, because I do see the difference. Our age is not the same of the age of people who were our age when we were kids. It is different. We are in a completely different kind of culture in our society. And I think especially for women, we have gained more independence. We have decided to make different decisions for our lives. And I love that for us, right? We don't feel so boxed in. And so, yeah, this age thing really has changed. It has changed a lot. Nikki said, I'm 53 now. Besides the premenopausal moments I'm having, I still feel like I'm in my 30s. I agree. I'm right with you, sis. And that's the thing with the whole change of life and getting older and the things that are just inevitable. We don't have a lot of control over these things, but we can do some things. And that's what I'm advocating now for with my doctor's office is, what can we do? Like, I know it's nature. I know I changed doctors because I got tired of hearing the line, well, you're 50 years old now. You're 51 years old now. I was tired of hearing that. I am well aware of how old I am. I'm well aware of what women go through when they get to be this age, but I'm not just going to roll over and take it. Like, what can you do to help me navigate this as best as possible instead of me just saying, well, it's menopause. No. I was tired of hearing that. And I also do not believe that every single thing I'm experiencing and feeling is going to be menopause. Like, can we at least check to make sure there's nothing else? So yeah, but I get it with that. That's the thing. That's the only time. Other than that, I'm down. Yeah, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I don't want to have a pity party for myself. I don't want to have a pity party for you. I don't mind if you really have something going on and we need to discuss it. Let's be discussing it with the mindset of what's the resolution, not complaining just for the sake of complaining. Don't call me with nothing if you ain't trying to fix the problem. You can vent, but I'm going to give you about 5 minutes on that venting. Once you're done with that venting session, then we need to figure out what are we going to do to change it. I don't have time for pity parties because that kind of stuff is contagious. So in the same way, where I feel like it is so important to be around younger people and get that energy and just keep you in that younger mindset, keep you on top of things so you know what's going on in the world past just what we see on CNN, what's going on in the real world. It's also the same when you're hanging around a bunch of older people who only, because I know people who all they do is complain about being old and how old they are and talk about what they can't do because they're so old. That stuff is taxing. And no matter how positive of a mindset you have, no matter how much of a positive person you are, if you are around negativity on a regular basis, if it doesn't turn you negative, it's still going to affect you in some kind of way. It's still, like you said, that whole negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, it zaps your energy. And so in order to stay youthful and keep that youthful spirit, you need to be around people who are bringing that same energy. And again, I'm not saying ditch all your old friends and just start hanging out with kids. I have some of my older friends who have that same mindset as well. So it's not that all of my older friends have an older mentality, but it's just kind of like I know which ones don't. Like my friend Adrian, I think is about 10 years older than me. We have been the best of friends for 23 years, and I can't keep up with her. That woman is go, go, go all the time. I call her. I'm like, where in the world are you now? Like literally, where in the world are you now? And I love that. And she has been an inspiration to me for years. And she kind of, because I tell y'all, I was dreading getting older because I saw the effect that it had on some older people in my life. Effects it had on them physically, mentally, financially, everything. And it was scary for me. Adrian is the person that whenever I would feel some kind of way, I would think about Adrian because like I said, she's about 10 years my senior. And so wherever I was in life, you know, when I was 30, looking towards 40, scared to death, I'm like, but if I can be like Adrian, I'll be fine. And it's the same way. Adrian is, I think, 60. She's about to be 61. I know that. Yeah, she's going to be 61 because her big 60th birthday was last June. And she's still out there living her best life. Like there's nothing different from her from the day I first met her and we were in our 20s. So yeah, it definitely, I mean, it goes both ways. Like all of my older friends aren't feeding into being old, but some of them are. Constant negativity. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We all need to vent every once in a while. I mean, it's human. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying that every single thing that happens, you should just grin and bear it and keep it moving. Sometimes you just need to say things. You know, I'll say to Wallace and my sister once in a while, I'll say something, I'm upset about it. And it's like, I don't even need a response. We don't even have to talk about this anymore. I just had to at least say it out loud one time. You know, I just need to get it off my chest, say it out loud one time, and then I either need to fix it or keep it moving. And so to stay with what we're talking about with this and then match it with content creation, don't worry about, like, even though me for my content creation, my mindset is for the woman 40 and above, but that's just because who I am as far as demographically. But I'm not trying to figure out what is appropriate for women 40 and above. I'm not doing a whole lot of research on what 40 and above likes. I'm just saying that's who I am. And so if you're a woman 40 plus who has a mindset such as mine, then maybe we can vibe together. But I'm not saying that my content isn't good for anyone else. But what I have realized in my, what is that stuff we be looking at in YouTube studio? Your analytics. I realized in my analytics, that is who is watching most of my content. And do I think that my content is only being watched by mostly women 35 and above because I'm old? Hey, Kelly, thank you so much for being here. Let me see. I call my bestie to cuss and vent. Yeah, you have to. And every once in a while, That's what we need, a good fill session. Let it out and keep it moving. Yes, let it out. And it's absolutely fine. It's the wallowing in it. It's the, letting it keep you stuck. That's the thing. But yeah, it's completely normal. We're human. We have things, we want to say things, and that can also cause issues if you don't let it out, right? So those are things that can cause health problems. Stress is a killer. Stress will attack your body in ways that you never even thought about. Stress will attack you mentally, attack you physically. And so you have to let it out. But that's the thing, letting it out. Once it's out, it's gone. Just like, those of you who are spiritual, it's about take it to the Lord and what? Leave it there. Literally leave it there. Once you have prayed about it, vented about it, meditated about it, woosad about it, whatever you need to do, you do that and you leave it there. Yes, I just did it the other day, and what was bothering me is stop. Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And every once in a while, we need just a straight up vent session with no feedback. And I'll make those announcements sometimes, but I have had people say to me as well, I know you said you didn't want no feedback, but can I just tell you one thing? But sometimes we want it with no feedback. We literally just have to get it off our chest. And then there are also times when we're looking for the feedback, looking for the advice and whatever. And it's fine. You work it out, but it's the dwelling on it. That's the word that I was looking for. Stress is scary, can take you out of here. I've been suffering with high blood pressure since I was 28 years old. And so I was told back then that it was a combination of being hereditary and stress. And like I shared with y'all, I don't know if it was on yesterday's live, everything is kind of all coming together, but those younger years of my life were some of the toughest, most stressful years of my life. I had my first son at 20, and you can just imagine the rest after that. Wasn't in a great relationship, just a lot of things. And so I am just grateful to be 52, because that could have taken me out of here a long time ago. And so as I get older, I definitely don't take it for granted, but I'm also not giving into the fact that I'm older. My life is over, because I spent way too much of my younger years being stressed the heck out. And so now I'm just about keeping myself healthy, as stress-free as possible, so that I can have that quality of life that I deserve. I'm like, yeah. And most of the things that we stress about never even happen, number one, or if they do happen, we have no control over it anyway. And worrying has never solved a problem, ever. Yeah, girl, it's been a road. That's why I said I can't give in to this whole, well, I'm 52, I'm about to be 53 years old. I'm old. I'm too old for that. I can't be doing what them young folks do. Look, I am young folks. My young folks time, I didn't get it when most people got it. So I'm taking my young folks time now, and I am enjoying every minute of it. And a lot of it is just getting out of my own head, getting out of my own way, and realizing that if my 65-year-old friend don't want to do this or whatever, let me go on and call my 45-year-old friend, my 40-year-old friend, because they going to want to do it, because I am definitely living my life like it's golden, and I'm not going to let things such as age keep me from doing it. Like so many of my older friends, like those aren't the ones who subscribe to my channel typically. Those aren't the ones who are being, hey, Naomi, how are you? Hey, Patrina. Look, I ain't even looked over here at Facebook. I'm so horrible. Thank y'all so much for joining. And to let you know, anyone who is on Facebook, and why am I looking over at these monitors as if, see, that's when you could tell you old though. Like, I got to look over here in order for them to see me. But anybody who is over in Facebook land, if you do want to join in on the conversation in real time and make sure that your comments are seen and everything, please jump over to YouTube. Just put in the @ and Stae Hall, and that will bring you to the channel, and hit subscribe. And then that way you can participate in real time. I don't have to be over here to make sure that I see your comments, because sometimes Facebook, YouTube, StreamYard do not play well together. And while I was saying that, the thought popped in my mind. I forgot to put the link in. So y'all already know. And if y'all ever have anything to say, you know you can always just type in and say, Stae, you didn't put the link up, and remind me to put the link up. So if anybody wants to join in, please let me know. Just click that link and I will bring you up, because I would love to hear your take on this as far as being a content creator 50 and above. If you're not a content creator, just how you're navigating that whole space of getting older, and just, anything we've talked about. I'd love to hear it. J3 said, I'm not slowing down until I turn 110 years old. Me neither, J3. I was saying the other day, after, learning that Wallace's aunt was 92, we were going to her birthday party. I'm like, once I get to be 70, 75 years old, I'm having a birthday party every year. And I'm doing something big. I'm spending my money. I'm doing all the things. I'm pulling out all the bells and whistles, and I am going to celebrate every single year, every single year. Right. Yeah. Young man. But that's what I'm going to do. I mean, because every day, every moment that we are given on this earth is a blessing. And I just refuse to take that blessing for granted or waste this time that I have only focusing on the fact that I'm older. And so another thing that I just talked to one of my life coaching clients about, who is a little older, the other day, is sometimes we just have to make little subtle changes to keep our youthful spirit. Something that happens with a lot of people as they get older, they kind of settle into the style that they've always had, right? So rocking the same hairstyle that they've been rocking since the 99s and the 2000s, afraid of change, being real stuck in their ways, dressing the same way, afraid, again, not wanting to look trendy or whatever. But what I would like to see happen is, if you do feel stuck, if you do feel boxed in and you're feeling older, change something. And it doesn't have to be anything major. Like maybe you just cut some layers in your hair. Maybe you just wear a little color. Maybe like me, I was a person who went most of my adult life and never wore makeup, never knew anything about makeup. I'm not a big hair girl. I don't know how to do my hair. I had tried that before. And so I decided, well, maybe I'm going to try to learn makeup. And so I got on YouTube, start playing in makeup, start buying. Like I never had bought makeup. All I ever had was maybe some mascara and lip gloss, like ever. I ended up buying like a whole thing. Wallace went and bought me a case like for a professional makeup artist, because I had bought so much makeup. And I really got into it. I'm still not the greatest at it, but now when I have places to go or whatever, I enjoy doing makeup. And that was something that I had never done when I was younger. And so I just tried that, and it did make me feel a little more youthful, and not just the look of the makeup made me feel more youthful, because sometimes I feel like when I put on makeup, I look older. It just depends on what I do, because I'm not a professional. But it was just learning something new and doing something new and seeing what was out there now. And then it brought me into a whole different part of YouTube, watching the makeup artists and all of that. And that doing those things, trying new things, help keep you youthful and party the whole month of your birthday. Yes, I do too. Okay, so Bougie, my birthday is December 9th. And so I share a birthday month with a very important person to me, who is baby Jesus. So what I do is I celebrate the whole month of December until Christmas Eve. And then I turn it over to baby Jesus, because that's the least I could do for all that he's done to me, is give him his 2 days. And then after that, Wallace and I's anniversary is New Year's. So then I go straight into that celebration. So yeah, that's how I do that in December. Okay, yeah, so we are about the same, but it was just like, it was so much fun when I learned to do that, and just, learning about all the different makeups, and then even skincare, right? I did not know a whole lot about skincare. Oh, okay, all right, December in the house. I love it. I I didn't know a whole lot about skincare. Like I washed my face and put some moisturizer on my face so I wouldn't look ashy. And that was pretty much it. And so that was something I had fun with and helped me feel more youthful, because I got into all the lotions and the potions and the serums and the retinols and the vitamin C, and just learning something new helped me feel more youthful. And just sitting down and watching the videos and doing something different, it really helped me a lot. Oh, really? Yeah. And I never was into it. I was really, and I still am, a plain Jane tomboy. And I'm just starting to kind of tap into more things. Like, I didn't start really wearing heels until I was in my 30s. I was just always more into just running around and throwing balls and playing in dirt. I don't know. But I didn't get into that early. But it's kind of cool because now, as I'm getting older, those are some of the things that I do now that help me feel more youthful. Like, my sister was always good with makeup. My sister always knew how to do her hair, but I didn't. But I just decided to do it. And so I love my new skincare regimen and all that type of thing. And it's just fun to me. Let me see. I remember when I was young, I could wash my face and put Vaseline on afterwards. Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's like what my skincare and stuff consisted of. And the only time I really paid attention to my skincare is if I got a pimple or whatever. And I was lucky. I didn't deal with a lot of skin issues. But that was the only time where I was like, oh, I need to get something, and would ask my parents to buy me something, some Noxzema. Y'all remember Noxzema? I would sleep with that stuff on my face if I got a pimple. But yeah, no, that stuff will mess you up now. But I learned a lot, and it helped me to, like I said, just feel youthful and get into different things and do something. Now I have skincare and makeup like you would not believe. So I definitely have made up for lost time. Girl, Noxzema and that blue jar. And it smelled like the other old stuff. What is that stuff you put on when you got a cold? The Vicks Vapor Rub. That's what it smelled like. I don't even think they sell that anymore. But yeah, Noxzema, that was my skincare. Like, that was my emergency. So if it wasn't good just to wash my face and throw on some Vaseline, if I really needed to do some work, it was going to be Noxzema. But now I have all of my lotions and potions and everything. Good night, Kenneth. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope you have a good evening. But yeah, that Vicks Vapor Rub, that is too funny. Now Vaseline for hands. Yes. Okay. And y'all may already notice, but I gotta, I share with y'all any little tips I find. How if you get a perfume set, and a lot of times they'll come with the lotion to match the perfume, but those lotions usually aren't a good thick consistency of lotion, but you want to put it all on to get the fragrance all over your body. But there's usually like not enough in the tube. So I had someone teach me a trick that if you put the lotion in your hand, just about a quarter size of the lotion, and then about a quarter size or dollop of Vaseline, and mix it together, then that will spread it out, give you the sheen that you need, the thickness that you need in the lotion, and also give you the scent. So that is something that I learned. And they also have these Vaseline sticks that if you want your perfume to last longer, if you have a perfume that just doesn't seem to last the day, you can just use the stick and put it on the same spots where you're going to spray the cologne, and then just kind of mix it in and it stays. So yeah. Oh, everybody's saying good night to Kenneth. Yeah, layered fragrances. And that's something else that I didn't realize until I start being around the younger women, is the fact that, it's wearing more than one fragrance and figuring out what fragrances go together. Like, when it comes to this girly girl stuff, the young folks know all about it, and I am all the way tapped in with them. I have learned so much. Like, even with me not being a hair girl, when I wear my hair in its natural curly state, I've learned things that I could do that it looks like I did my hair, and I really didn't do much to my hair. I just love it. Well, thank you. Yeah, most of the time I'm late to the party, so I be out here giving tips, and everybody like, "Girl, we been did that." But I love when I can actually give a good tip. But yeah, it works, and it's something I do. And I bought that Vaseline stick, and it lasts forever because you don't use it every day. And I don't think Vaseline go old because Vaseline. So that's the thing too about them back in the day things. Ain't no such thing as them going bad. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Hold on. I will be right back. All right. Thank you so much for holding on. So, y'all, I've been going live every single day. And so, with me going live every day, y'all know, hey, she, um, y'all know I also cook every day. And so, I have been cooking after the live, and we're eating way too late. So, what I did before I jumped on the live, I seasoned the steaks, got the Caesar salad together, and then I'm going to do some bacon crumbles on top of the steaks because we're doing what's called a loaded steak. But anyway, I had my timer set to go ahead and put the bacon in the oven, start the air fryer now. So then by the time I get off live, we could go ahead and eat instead of me just starting to cook. We here. Hey, she. So we are on our healthy lifestyle. Again, if you watch my vlogs, you'll know I've been going through this whole journey with my health, dealing with my doctors, trying to get whatever I need to get myself on the right track. And they have recently prescribed me Wegovy. And so Wegovy it was a medication that used to be called, or still is, I think, Ozempic. And Ozempic was a medication for people with type 2 diabetes. Oh, I lost you at the bacon. And I try not to do that much bacon, Sheet. I really do. I try not to do that much bacon, but we just need some crumbles, just some crumbles. But it was originally for diabetics, and they found out kind of a side effect that the diabetes patients who were taking the Ozempic were losing a pretty decent amount of weight. And so then doctors started prescribing Ozempic to people for weight loss, but it caused a shortage. And with that shortage, some of the people with diabetes were not getting their weight loss medication. And so the same company came out, they were smart about it. Like, okay, it's working for weight loss. And it wasn't, causing any type of major side effects for people who didn't have diabetes. So they were like, we just going to come out with the same thing, but just make it a different name. And so that's when they came out with Wegovy. And so, like I shared with y'all, when I was 50, I was diagnosed with what's called metabolic syndrome, which is pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, and severe hypertension. And so we've been trying to get it under control, really haven't been able to get things under control. And I've been gaining this weight. They've checked my thyroid. I have not, my habits haven't really changed, and I'm pretty active. And so they prescribed me Wegovy. If y'all want to see that whole journey, the videos are on there. I talk about it, and I'm going to be journaling it on weekly videos because you do take the injection once a week. I took my first one today. And so that leads me back to dinner tonight with the Wegovy. I'm going to continue my 1 meal a day, my OMAD fasting, and we're going to really get serious about our ketogenic lifestyle. And so tonight we're having what I call a loaded steak. So it's a ribeye, but since we can't have potatoes, everything that I would normally put on a loaded baked potato, we put on top of the steak. So I'll put garlic butter on top of the steak, sour cream, cheese, because with a ketogenic diet, you do a lot of the healthy fats. And they're also, the healthy fats are very good as you get older, because there's been research that shows that having those healthy fats in your body really feeds your brain and can help with possibilities of dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So yeah, well, thank you, Nikki. I was like, we can't keep eating at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And I said, but I'm going to stick to the lives. But girl, Me too. And I used to not. I used to be the opposite where I never really was hungry. I would have to. And again, when I was younger, I would have to remember to eat. Now it's like I'm always hungry. I never really feel full. Yeah, it's just crazy. So we're trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's really good. It's good, Nikki. We just dump everything on there. And yeah, and then I put some chives on it as well. The keto way of living kept me in shape for so many years. And it did for me as well. Back when I first started this YouTube channel, I was very serious and strict about keto. Like I said, I was training for a marathon, y'all. And that was just in 2018. Training for a marathon, literally like in the best shape of my life. And then the pandemic happened and I stopped working out, which I really had no excuse. I think it was more of a mental thing because I was a runner, right? So I wasn't in the gym a lot at all. I would literally just lace up my shoes, go outside and run. Wallace and I would bike. Wallace, just by hanging in there with me and participating in some things, he dropped like 50 pounds. We were killing it. And then the pandemic happened and we stopped. And so much happened with me from then until now. It was like, I gained weight, which, okay, I understood that because my activity level went down. We were just eating everything. Y'all know how it was during those uncertain times. We were, in the house. And then plus Wallace and I both still had to work. So that was scary because we were still both in corporate. He was at the bank. So, they weren't going to keep the bank shut down for long. And I worked for the Office of Disaster Assistance. So I was pulled into active duty during that time. So it was just a lot of stress. Going to work, coming home. I mean, we would literally strip down in the laundry room, which is right off the garage, wash our clothes. I had my uniform, y'all. I wore the same thing to work every single day. So I picked an outfit that I didn't care about, because I was going to wash it every day. And so I would come home, take my clothes off, wash everything. And then we were just eating everything. So it was crazy. But then after that, and things kind of started to settle down, I went back on keto, started walking, started trying to train again, and I started gaining weight. And then that's when this whole thing with metabolic syndrome came up, and it's just been a mess. I fell off the wagon in 2020. I'm trying to climb my way back on it. Yeah, it was the same for me. And like I said, and with me, it was just so crazy because I've really done well for a long time after that. And I wasn't getting the same results. And so everybody's like, oh, it's just menopause. Oh, it's this and that. And so that's why I am really advocating for myself. I've switched doctors. I am making an appointment with an endocrinologist. I've been dealing with that for the last couple of days because I need somebody to tell me something, help me with something. So hopefully this Wegovy is a good start. I've done a lot of research on it. And so it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And especially, having to work. And so at my job, several people passed away from COVID, like while we were working. Like they were at work. Then all of a sudden you don't see them for a couple of days. Then you find out that they have COVID and then they're gone. And so it was stressful. It was stressful. I know we do. And I forgot to tell you yesterday, I think it was yesterday. And, I think Tim said he lived in Delaware and then you said Maryland. And I was talking about being from Virginia, but I don't know if I ever told you that my son who was in the military, he and his wife are having a baby and they're coming here to Dallas, Fort Worth to have the baby, to be around family and get that support. But his job offer is in Maryland. And so he is going to be going to Maryland. And then once, she's comfortable and her and the baby are going to go. So I will be in Maryland a lot, of course, to see grandbaby number 4. So we'll definitely have to do brunch or something when I am in Maryland because I love that area. I miss it. That's what I miss the most about living on the East Coast was just that ability to just do these. Like I live 4 hours from DC, 6 hours from New York, 5 hours from Philly, 3 hours from Maryland. I loved it. So yeah, I can't wait. So I will definitely let you know when we're going to be visiting, but the baby is due in July. So they're going to come here next month in April and we're going to do the baby shower, all that stuff. And they're going to stay through. And we don't know how long Pam is actually going to be here with the baby, but whenever Jacoby gets there, sets up shop with his new job and finds a house and everything, they'll go, and I will be visiting. I used to come all the time for the Capitol Jazz Festival as well. I haven't been in a few years. It's usually the first week in June, but yeah, I just love that whole Maryland, DC, Virginia. I love that area. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to get together. But yeah, y'all. So it's just a lot, but it's things like that too. When you talk about, thank you. When you talk about keeping the youthful spirit, as much as some of us may dread going to the doctor, me included, I never used to go to the doctor. When I first met Wallace, my youngest son was 8 or 9 years old, and I had not been to the doctor since my last and final checkup after having my son, which means I had not been to the doctor in about 8 or 9 years. And I'm telling y'all, I've been dealing with high blood pressure forever. And so I was doing all different kind of things to keep my blood pressure under control. I was taking other people's medication, y'all, all kind of stuff until I could find. I would go to the emergency room when my blood pressure was super high, and then they would write me a medication, a prescription. I would always beg them to make it like at least 90 days because I hated going to the doctor. And so Wallace is not like that at all. And so when we got together, like when I met Wallace, I had never had a mammogram. Just a lot of different things that he was able to help me with. However, I say all that to say that in the whole same vein of keeping the youthful spirit, as much as we might avoid or not want to go to the doctor, that is what can help you keep that youthful spirit as well, because you can stay on top of things and you don't allow yourself to deteriorate to the point that once you do go to the doctor, something is so far gone. You do have to advocate for yourself. You do have to make sure that you find a doctor who cares about us seasoned folks and us geriatric folks. Because again, I had a doctor who just wanted to blame everything on getting older. She even said to me at one point, I went in and my blood pressure was kind of high. I was taking my medications like I was supposed to, and my blood pressure was kind of high. And so she said, well, if you were, 35, 40 years old, I'd be concerned. And, we would probably look to do something different. But, you're 51 now. And so, I just don't think it's as much concern. And so I had to ask her, I'm like, so are you saying older people can tolerate hypertension better than younger people? Like, I was confused. And she kind of looked at me shocked because she didn't expect me to ask her what she meant by that. But really what she was saying was the fact that, well, you're older, and so stuff is just going to happen. So we're really not going to look into that much. I'm just going to up your medication and it's going to be done. But if you were younger, I would, be more proactive in trying to figure out what is wrong. No, boo. We're going to try to figure it out no matter what age I am, because if you can't tell me that this is a normal blood pressure reading for someone of my age, then we need to figure it out. And so hence why I'm where I am now and ended up getting a new doctor. And our whole, she hasn't been able to take me off of any medications yet because I just started seeing her in February, but that is our goal and she's on board with that. But guess what, y'all? My other doctor was my age. My new doctor just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. And so that's the thing. I had to get with someone who was younger, who cared, but wasn't lazy and doesn't mind doing the work, doing the research, and is on board with where I'm trying to go with my health. Yeah, I hate when they say that. Like, I don't know what true diagnosis comes with just, because you're that age. Like, I know people in all different age ranges who have started to suffer from like dementia. Like, there's nothing that you can tell me is just because your age. I know people who are like Wallace's aunt, 92 years old and excellent health. Yeah, she might be moving a little slower. She decided to go in the house the other day because she said she just needed to get up and walk because she was getting stiff or whatever, but she's not sick. And then I know younger people who are very sick. And so, yeah, you can't just tell me that my age is the reason why, whatever. No, we're going to figure this out. And if you don't want to, then I'll find somebody else, because while we're trying to keep that youthful spirit, while we are trying to do, our health is going to play a huge role in that. It's hereditary is I'm too lazy to help. Yes. Because why is it hereditary, right? What about that part? Just because it's hereditary, maybe that's because the people in my family along the line before me weren't doing the things that they needed to do, or maybe didn't have the type of doctor to help them. So you're just going to say it's hereditary. And my thing is, rarely in any family does everybody have something like, all that kind of stuff. That drives me crazy. Like, okay, I want to be like the people in my family who don't suffer with this. Then why can't I have that part of the hereditary? Like, it's an excuse. The age, the hereditary. And again, it depends. It happens a lot to women. It happens a lot to Black women. It happens a lot to Black people. Not that it doesn't happen to everybody at some time and couldn't, but there are certain ones of us who have to be more proactive, have to be more vocal, because people be trying to kill you. It's like, no, I believe in going to doctors, and I know that they're the professionals, but the Bible tells us to study to show thyself approved. And I don't believe that only means with the Bible. That means with everything. We need to do our research, do our homework, and find the person who is going to work our program. You're not going to tell me what's best for me. I'm going to tell you what I want to do, and you're going to help me figure out how to get there. Yeah, so we have to do that. And all of that helps us keep that youthful spirit, because you are being active in your own care, and the more healthy you feel, the younger you feel anyway, because isn't that what, we kind of equate youth to, outside of the number, is feeling healthy. When people look at younger people, that's what they look at, that healthy. And that even goes as far as, how we look and how our skin ages. It's all about taking care of our body from the inside out. And so doing those things helps us keep that youthful spirit. Hey, wellness, how are you? Yes, and that's the thing. People do not want to do their jobs. Like, they get mad because you want to make them do your job. It's like, if you did not want to do this, then why did you show up today? It's like, no, people do not like to do their jobs. My son was telling me that he had a coach that used to say that, like, whenever they were messing up or whatever, he's like, y'all love making me do my job. Like, well, that's what you're here for, right? Do your job. And that's a whole different thing. I've run into so many people in all different types of professions who literally get ticked off the moment somebody tries to make them do what they're being paid to do. And that's the thing too. We're paying you. Just like this whole thing I went through, this battle with Wegovy. We're paying for insurance, and the insurance doesn't want to pay for it. They're needing more this, they're needing more than that, more that. All they're trying to do is try to get out of, y'all just close the circle. Just close the circle on that. See, keep moving. That keeps you feeling youthful. Keep moving, because what I will tell you too is certain things that can come along with age can be things like stiffness and aches and pains. And Frugal Mama, I know you know about that, know about this kind of stuff more than me. The power of just moving your body and stretching. It is so important as we get older to stretch, because our muscles will get tighter if we just have this sedentary life, but we can stretch. It is very important once you get to be a certain age to do some kind of weight training, even if it's just like resistance bands, because age will cause you to start losing muscle mass. Yeah, those kind of things are inevitable, but there are simple things that we can do to combat that and to keep that youthful spirit. Yeah, you're not going to feel youthful when you having to push yourself up and you can barely move, but there are things that you can do. You can do those stretches, do yoga, whatever that looks like for you. Hold on, y'all. I think Wallace ain't paying me no mind. It's March Madness. I think I burnt bacon, y'all. You can smell that?
I'm delayed, you know.
Oh, so I was talking smack on my husband, y'all, and he was paying attention. He's just on a delay. He didn't hear me, so afterwards, we can still use that bacon, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little crispy, y'all. But yeah, we can move. We can. Oh God. Please ignore the fire alarm because a big puff of smoke just came. Okay, so note to self: only cook things that are in the air fryer, and the air fryer will automatically turn off. But the bacon isn't that bad. Our system, the alarm system, fire alarm system, has been like super sensitive lately, because y'all see there's no smoke. I ain't coughing. It was just that little bit of heat that came from the oven. Stop it, Wallace. And it went off. But no, it's bad. We good. Your bacon is fine, Nikki. Your bacon is fine. We gonna eat that bacon and crumble it on top of this on that steak. Hey Tim, hey. Yeah, everything's fine. We are not having to stop, drop, and roll. We are good. What is Wallace burning up? Right, it is Wallace's fault, though, because Wallace is in there watching March Madness. Now, he does have me on somewhere in there, too. But I'm like, if I could sit here and smell that bacon needed to come out, why he ain't smell that bacon? Hey, Chocolate Drop, how are you? How are you, pretty girl? So good to see you. But yeah, everything's good. Steak is still cooking. Bacon is just a little bit crispy. But what we gonna do is eat that bacon. But yeah, we have to move our bodies. Y'all see how quick I was able to get up to check on that bacon, because I've been doing my stretching. We don't need as much cardio, so you don't have to worry about getting out there and doing anything that is going to, cause any damage, stress fractures, because you don't want to be out there on that cement, but just a little brisk walk is all you need as far as cardio. I just recently purchased a walking pad, which I absolutely love. And I am loving it because I got a little stand-up desk that goes over it. So I'm able to put my laptop on it, have on my headphones or whatever, and get my steps in. So there's no excuse of the weather. If it's raining, if it's 900 degrees, because y'all know I'm here in Dallas, Fort Worth, I can still get my steps in. And even though I am a runner and I have been a runner my whole life, that's no longer my desire, but I do want to make sure that I get my steps in. Yes, I'm glad you were able to catch it too. So good to see you. Okay, everybody just saying hello. Nothing like some good, yeah, we gonna have some good crispy bacon today, because I'm not making any more and I'm not throwing that away. No, but it still looks fine. It does. It is crisp, but yeah, it looks fine. But that's what we're doing. So yeah, you don't have to worry about doing anything that is going to, overexert yourself, but just move your body, stretch your body, and do those things. And those are the things that keep you feeling youthful, because it's the aches and pains and things that make you feel old. And also, Wallace, what you say? Cajun, right? Just a little Cajun. But also staying hydrated and those types of things, those help to keep you feeling youthful, because hydration is key. It is good for your internal organs and also the biggest organ of your body, which is your skin. You want to be able to stay hydrated. That helps you stay youthful. Dehydration can kill you. A lot of people don't know that, but you can literally die from dehydration. And of course, that wouldn't end up being what they put on your death certificate. It would be organ failure, and the cause of it would be dehydration. I know, right? I know. I love it. Okay, yes, Frugal Mama, thank you. Sleep as well. Now, this thing has been helping me to track my sleep, and I know that I don't get the sleep that I need. And I didn't really know what to do. But now that I have this, it tracks my sleep. I just the other day changed my bedtime on here because it's going to give me a little buzz when I need to lay down. Not a buzz, but a buzz. But it lets me know I need to go to sleep because I feel like I can function on just the 4 or 5 hours of sleep that I get. But that's not true because I'm not even in deep sleep most of the time. You need your rest. And the thing is, if you start being more active, moving your body, doing a little weight training, doing a little walking, you're going to be tired at night, where you will get that full night's sleep that you need. So all of those things definitely help. What we put in our body, letting go of the processed food, eating more whole foods, getting rid of the unhealthy carbohydrates, the white sugar, and all that kind of stuff can help. And the thing is, I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, I can't eat the stuff. Hey, Miss Lois, how are you? I hope you're still over there because Facebook ain't playing well with YouTube. So I'm on YouTube as well. So I hope you are still over there and could hear me say hello to you. But people will say, oh, I can't eat like I used to when I was young. But the thing is, unfortunately, a lot of us weren't eating healthy when we were young. Our bodies just seem to tolerate it better, but you pay for it in the long run. And so that's why I'm really, careful about what I give my grandbabies. I love the fact that they like fruit and things like that, because even though it seems like it's not a big deal, like I know a lot of people who eat healthy, and I watch a lot of the YouTube vlogs and the journaling, the healthy lifestyle. And they'll say, yeah, but it's just so hard because I'm cooking for my whole family and I got to cook for the kids. And then I'm trying to eat healthy. And I always wonder, I'm like, why can't the kids eat healthy too? Like, that's okay. Kids don't have to have pizza and hamburgers and French fries. The whole family can eat healthy and it's okay. But for some reason, we're just conditioned to think that, kids can eat junk, but we don't know what long-term effects that's having on our body. Tim said, I can go to bed tired, but ache so bad, have a hard time falling asleep, usually get 2 to 4 hours of sleep at night. Been doing that for years. Yeah, and it's just not the best for us. It's not. We have to find out what we can do to get more sleep if we can. And I know pain is, that's a terrible thing. Who was it? Somebody was just talking to us, or Wallace was telling me about somebody with sciatic nerve pain and talking about how, his cousin, she just could not sleep. The pain just would not allow her to sleep. So I hate that. But, figuring out some healthier ways to eat, healthier alternatives. And then when we do find ourselves with certain conditions and things that we need medication for, looking at what some of the natural alternatives are. How we treat ourselves inside out is going to determine how we feel and how we show up. Right? Why is their kids menu at the restaurant? It's all food. Yeah, it's crazy. And then on the kids menu, it's always stuff like chicken strips and fries, pizza. You never see any salmon on the kids menu. You never see broccoli on the kids menu. Now they are getting better and maybe offering a fruit cup or whatever, but yeah, kids can eat healthy food as well. Now, I will tell you to be a little careful if you have the ketogenic lifestyle, because I did have my Nunny Butters with his cholesterol numbers a little higher, but then I had to figure out the difference between the good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and things like that. But as far as overall eating healthy, it's good to start that early on. Like my kids only drink water for the most part, because that's all I really had. I would have water and maybe some cranberry juice, but we never did soda at my house. We never did a lot of different like punches and the drink boxes. And so guess what? They learned to consume what we had. And so as they got older, they really don't have a taste for a lot of that stuff because we didn't do it. I didn't do a lot of fast food. Like I was that mom when we were going to games and different tournaments, I would pack a basket in a minute. Now, I can't say 100% of the time that was always because I was trying to be so healthy. a lot of times it was about the financial piece of it, because I had 3 big boys who all they wanted to do is eat all the time, and being a single mom and doing stuff. No, y'all gonna get these sandwiches and these carrot sticks and be happy. But it turned out to be a good thing, because for the most part, they still have pretty healthy habits. Don't believe in pain medicine. Got addicted to pain meds in my younger years. Yeah, those pain medicines, that stuff is a trip. That's my problem. Sciatic nerve messed up. And oh, wow. Yeah, I heard that sciatic nerve is no joke. And I'm so glad you were able to overcome that addiction back in the day. And that's the thing. These doctors prescribe these medications knowing that they can be addictive, and they don't care. They do it because pharmaceuticals is a big business. And so many of these doctors I talked about in my video when I was discussing advocating for yourself and your medical care, because the pharmacist is the best person to talk to about the medications. The doctors, a lot of times, all they know is whatever that sales rep came in there and told them it was for, and whatever they're getting for however many prescriptions they write, that's all they care about. I'm glad, again, like at the doctor's office that I'm at now, they are very, very, very cognizant of the issues people have had from some of these narcotics that doctors were prescribing, and they won't do it. Like, for instance, the anxiety medication, Xanax. For years, doctors were trying to prescribe me Xanax. Well, I have seen firsthand what Xanax can do. I've never been the type of person who wants to take anything every day, and especially not for an issue that is not debilitating for me every day. Well, the doctor's office that I'm at now, they won't even prescribe Xanax to anybody. It's like, if you're having panic attacks, there are different alternatives that we can try, different things we can try, different medicines that aren't addictive, because that stuff really can put people in a bad place. I didn't do sugar with my kids. Yeah, we were very limited. And again, it ended up being able to go into their adult life because they don't think about it. You know, like I said, when it comes to drinking, you will not see my kids with sodas and stuff, and they're grown men. Too many sugar. And the thing is, not brushing right. That was the biggest issue I had with my kids. Brush, because I am like a teeth fanatic. And so, yeah, I brush my teeth like incessantly. But my kids would go in there, I tell them to brush their teeth, and they'd be out there in 30 seconds. Oh, yeah. A lot of people have that coffee addiction as well. But now they've even come out with healthy alternatives for that. I do the mushroom coffee, and it is a lot healthier for you, but it does taste the same. As something you might want to try. They do have it on Amazon. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, my youngest son, his teeth are beautiful, but girl, he has cost me a lot in the dentist. Quit drinking 21 years ago, quit cold turkey, was a severe alcoholic, and quit smoking cigarettes after 37 years cold turkey. Wow, that is some good willpower. I love that, Tim. That is awesome. And yeah, those cigarettes, but look how they used to glamorize them, right? And then all these people lost their lives over something that was, you know, put out there as kind of like just a little social pastime, and find out that them things are just full of trash. And again, it's about money. They put something out there and they think they can make money on it. They are not caring about the repercussions of what is happening to people. But it's so good to know that you were, you know, just had that fortitude to be able to quit cold turkey like that. That is amazing. And so glad that those things are no longer plaguing your life, and definitely hoping that you're able to find some relief with that sciatic nerve, because they thought that I had sciatic nerve damage at one point after a car accident. And I went to the chiropractor several times and went through some rehab and never have had any issues after that. So I was definitely blessed in that regard. Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome, because I know that can be tough. And the thing is, and even if you didn't, that's okay too. Sometimes we have to change who we're around, you know, who we talked about that earlier, and, you know, keeping the youthful, you know, it definitely depends on the company you keep. And if people aren't supportive on your journey or whatever, sometimes we have to change what that circle looks like for us. And it's absolutely okay, because we have to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're living at the best, highest level of ourselves possible. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. And so I don't want us to even, consider, my husband says it all the time, consider not the calendar, because every single day is a blessing. And I'm not going to let these days keep rolling on. And all I'm worried about is how old I'm getting. And it used to be something. It used to be something that really bothered me. And then I realized how ungrateful I was being as I was being blessed with more and more time on this earth. And I'm going to worry about how old I am instead of being happy about how old I am, and just embracing it and realizing that there are things that I can do to alleviate some of the stresses and woes and pains of getting older, as long as I treat myself right, mind, body, and spirit. And we're a package deal, mind, body, and spirit. I don't care how much you work out and how healthy you eat. If you're not keeping your mind right, you're not going to feel good. And I don't care what positive mindset you have. If you're continuing to throw junk in your face and not move your body, you're not going to be able to have that all around healthy life experience. Used to be ashamed for speaking out about being an alcoholic because I didn't want people to label me, but now I tell everyone. I'm so proud of you for that, Tim. And I can definitely relate to you in a certain way, where there were certain things in my life that I used to be ashamed to talk about. And now it's just like almost my badge of honor, my journey. This is what I've been through. And I'm proud to have been an overcomer of certain things, like whether it was my mindset, dealing with anxiety. Like that was something I used to be so embarrassed about. I never wanted anybody to know that I dealt with anxiety and that I had to go to therapy. And then I realized that I was doing other people a disservice by not sharing, because sometimes it's the ones of us who share that help someone else to feel more comfortable in sharing about their issues, and we can help them get through it. So kudos to you for doing that. But I know the vulnerability piece, it takes time, right? Because things that we've been through in our lives can put us in such a bad headspace. And first we have to start by forgiving ourselves, not kicking ourselves for whatever we've done, whatever poor decision or whatever it was. And so it's a process that you go through, but then you come to the realization like, okay, been there, done that. I'm good. Why am I going to be ashamed to share? And then when we realize too, we're not the only ones. We have a lot of company, and whatever there is, nothing new under the sun. So anything that we face, challenges we've gone through, things in our life, somebody else has been there, right? And so maybe a lot of people had it, try to sweep it under the rug. But for those of us who are willing to share, we are going to be a help to someone. That's the things that I've dealt with when I talked about how my temper used to be. I was tick, tick, boom. I would fight at the drop of a dime. And even after I went through therapy and I no longer had those same temper issues, I was in full control. When I would meet new people and be in different types of atmospheres, I still never wanted to tell anybody that, right? I would be ashamed, or somebody who knew me from back then would say, oh, well, y'all see how she is now. But back then I used to be so embarrassed. Now it's just like, no, that's still me. That was me. And so it had to be a part of my journey in order for me to be where I am now. Wallace said, proud of you, Tim. Share your story. Your name is Tim, not what people label you. They may not be dealing with that, but they are dealing with something. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We are not our past mistakes. The same way the captain of the football team back in 1978, who ran in the winning touchdown to clinch this championship game for the whole team, cannot use that to put him anywhere in life except for a story to tell. It doesn't matter if he was that captain of the football team. He's still going to have to earn his way to any other accolades. He can't go to any job and not be qualified. Say, but I ran the winning touchdown, or he can't, whatever it is. Things happen in our life, and that happened in that season, and that's what it was. And it's the same thing with anything negative that happened. That's what happened then. That has nothing to do with what I can do and accomplish now. It's a part of who I am, and it helped to make me who I am, but it's not who I am. Thank you, Wallace. Tim, you're helping people. Don't be ashamed. Absolutely, absolutely. Because there is somebody out there who may be able to avoid what we've been through because of sharing, or someone who realizes they're not alone and decides to get help with whatever they're going through because of your sharing. And so there's somebody out there who needs the story. And a lot of times it's therapeutic for you as well. It's kind of like that, okay, it's out there. It's out there. And so now I know for me, what happened was I have been called out before in that same way, where somebody is like, oh, well, y'all see Stae now. She all prim and proper and up here, this and that. But y'all didn't know her before. Man, one time I was at such and such, and this girl said something to her, and they got to fight, and the Stae was whatever. And I was so embarrassed. But what I decided is I'm never going to let anybody do that to me again. You're not going to be able to hold my past against me and bring up things to shame me. I can tell my own story, and I'll never be embarrassed again about anybody saying anything about me. And if anybody hasn't heard it from me, that's just because they haven't been in my presence long enough to hear it, or did I think it was even relevant for them to hear. But I will not be embarrassed if somebody else decides to tell my story. So hats off to you, Tim. I appreciate you so much. Y'all, this time has gone so fast. Let me see. I'm trying to help a 28-year-old alcoholic that works on my work. He refuses to listen to anything I try to tell him. Well, you know, that's the thing too. People got to be ready. As much as we want to help them, people got to be ready. They have to be ready. And everybody has their own rock bottom. Everybody else has that time when they're tired of being sick and tired. But, you know, definitely keep trying. Don't get discouraged. But yeah, sometimes they just don't get it. I was never that person, but my grandmother was, and some people are able to learn through other people, which I have been able to. Some people aren't able to learn until they go through it themselves. So, you know, you never know, but I'm happy that you're there to help him. And you may have to be there one day to help him pick up the pieces once he realizes, you know, that he needs to change. And thank you, Chocolate Drop. Yeah, it's been a journey, but yeah, girl, I'm good. Can't nobody tell nobody nothing about Stae, because Stae will tell whatever she wants to tell. So I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. This has been so much fun. We were on topic, off topic, all over the place, which is great as long as we're engaging and a dialogue is happening. I am willing to talk about wherever the conversation leads us. And so it's always a pleasure to have each and every one of you engaging. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all know I will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat place. I do not remember what we're talking about tomorrow, but I'm also going to be joining Miss T with the T online tomorrow. Hey, Living Out Loud. How are you? So good to see you. We miss seeing your face. Good to be here. But yeah, I'll be on with Miss T in the morning. We're going to talk about, you know, how to brand your business. It's kind of like I got my LLC, now what? So just business branding for up and coming new businesses, and maybe even people who have been in business for a while and just haven't known what to do to take their business to the next level. Or maybe they've been treating their business more as a side hustle and have not legitimized their business yet. Whatever it is, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow on Miss T. So I know most of y'all will be there. So I'm excited about that. But tomorrow evening on here, I don't remember what we're talking about. So we're going to be talking about something. Let's see. Thanks, everyone. Just wanted to share my story again. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great time as always. Have a great night, everyone. Yes, I'm getting ready to eat this loaded steak and this Cajun bacon. Hello to Living Out Loud. Tell Miss T I said hello. Real busy at work now. I miss her lives. Yeah, and she is really, really growing, but I will make sure that I share the message. So y'all know the drill. I love and appreciate each and every one of you to bits and pieces. Always be kind and always love one another, but don't forget to live your life. L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. And if you haven't already seen the vlog that dropped today, go ahead and watch that vlog. It just dropped a few hours ago, fresh off the presses. That new Stae haul dropped tonight. I'll see y'all in the morning. Bye.
Living life is gangsta. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dream.